400 French soldiers are on the ground working alongside Malian troops. The US, Britain and other European countries are providing communication and transport support. The two important northern cities of Gao and Timbuktu were the targets on the third day of the French operation. Fighter jets struck rebel training camps, infrastructure and logistics bases there. Bombing campaigns had already helped Mali's forces retake the town of Kona. Other targets have included Douentza and Lere. Troops are trying to push rebels back into Mali's vast desert. The French government says it wants this intervention to be a quick one.
Regarding France's direct involvement, it's only a matter of weeks. Later on, we can come back up, but we have no intention of staying forever.
Naznine Moshiri is in Bamako. Naznine, the French government says it wants this intervention to only last a matter of weeks. What's the latest on the fighting and how realistic is it for the French to think they can be in and out in a matter of weeks?
Well, it's very interesting the French are saying that. This is the fourth day of their bombing campaign and they have been very successful so far, but it really depends on what they want to achieve, whether they want the safety of the strategic locations of the government, which is the town of Mopti, was the initial intention, or whether the French want to enable Mali and potentially a West African force to go into the north and recapture the north. It's very unclear as to what the final end game here is, but in terms of the latest, as you mentioned there, French warplanes have been striking further north in Gao and also hitting targets even further than that in a town called Afhabo, which is a stronghold of the group Ansar al-Din. Now, there are reports that up to 60 rebel fighters were killed in that bombardment. We have been unable to confirm that so far. But what is very interesting is that the leader of a very important movement here in Mali, the movement for oneness and jihad in West Africa, Abu Dada, has come out and said that France has attacked Islam and we will strike at the heart of France. And that is one issue that the French have. They do have hostages here in Mali, hostages which will now potentially be under threat because of their actions, and also they're stepping up security in France as well because of what is happening here on the ground.
All right, Naznine, and any indication of when ECOWAS troops will be on the ground there, or when this will start to look more like an African rather than French-led mission?
Well, that is the whole point, that ECOWAS is supposed to be sending troops, Nigerians making most of them, around 600 of them, and being under the command of Nigeria in the coming days. But what we're hearing is that here in Bamako there's going to be a meeting of military chiefs of these nations at some point on Tuesday, and they're waiting to hear from a United Nations Security Council meeting which is happening later on Monday. The problem is logistics for them. One Nigerian commander spoke to Al Jazeera and told us, if we send our troops here, where are they going to sleep? Where are they going to be? Who is going to pay for them? So all these questions need to be answered before ECOWAS starts sending troops here on the ground.
All right, Naznine, and what's the mood in Mali? How are people there feeling about the foreign intervention?
Well, it's very interesting when you go around this town and you realise actually how modern Bamako is and how much investment there has been here and how peaceful it potentially could be as a town. People here are really pleased about the French intervention. Some people have been going around draping French flags on their car, shouting slogans like "Thank you, France," "Thank you, François Hollande." What they're more concerned about, interestingly, is the intervention of West African troops. What they say is their ideal scenario is for this to be led by Malian forces. They say Malian forces are very, very strong. Just look at how they coped during the civil war in Liberia. So what they want is the Malians to be in charge of this operation, but backed up by the French military.
Right, that's Naznine Moshiri joining us from Bamako. Naznine, thank you.